All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Week 15 review and Week 16 preview of the NFL. I am Coach William McCarthy, and
Hansford.
we also have
Brennan Lewis.
Malachi Metford was not able to join us today, so I'm going to take his spot. Hopefully, I can do as good as he did. We'll find out as we go. All right, fellas.
Mm.
The beatdown that was Thursday night football saw the Raiders put a hammer in on the Chargers, beat them so bad they lost their head coach and their GM.
Yeah.
Chargers needed that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't think it was going the right way for the Chargers. Maybe it's different if the quarterback's healthy and you don't have Easton Stick back there. But just nothing really stands out. I see Joshua Palmer had some big plays, but I think that long of 79 really put his average up there.
One thing that was shocking was the Raiders did this all without Josh Jacobs. There was
Interesting.
no Josh Jacobs at all.
I thought I didn't see him on the field. I was wondering if he was hurt or what was
Yeah.
going on. But yeah, they had a good day. Zamir White got his 17 carries, so that's good for him. And Devontae Adams showed up with his 100 yards receiving. So, it was a bad game for the Chargers. It's not really much else you can say about that one. The Bengals pulled through in overtime. It was a good victory for the Bengals. They tried everything they could to give the game away, but were able to hold on there at the end and get the field goal to win the game. Browning had a good game, 300 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. Mixon did okay, but not really great. The injury to Jamar Chase towards the end of the game might be something that hampers them moving forward.
Shoulder, so I heard.
Yeah, I think he might be out again this week. That's a big hamper on that offense.
But yeah. No, it wasn't this game. It was another game. Never mind.
It's all right.
A funny thing about this game, Jake Browning used to be on the Vikings practice squad.
Yes, he was. He was for a little bit.
And then he goes ahead and throws up 324 yards of offense on him, passing anyways. That's something that would only happen to the Vikings.
Yes, yes. Now Chandler had a good game for the Vikings coming out of the backfield, 23 carries for 132 yards. And then Addison had a big game. The Bengals were having a hard time covering him. He got 2 touchdowns, kind of took over the show from Justin Jefferson a little bit. So if he can continue for the Vikings, that might be something to look forward to for them. Oops. You want to talk about your Steelers and the debacle that it was?
They're bad. There's not much to say here. They just sucked.
Just
I mean, on the final drive, Trubisky was benched for Rudolph, and now Rudolph is apparently getting the start on Saturday against Cincy.
I saw. Yeah.
I mean, couldn't get anything going on the ground. Offense wasn't working after the first quarter.
Just offensive line not showing up, you think, or what's going on?
The offensive line did play poorly. As you can see, allowed 4 sacks, but
Yeah.
it's more than just that.
The 4 sacks, the no yardage gain. You think Tomlin's in trouble a little bit, or
No.
he gets the pass, I think, right?
Yeah, no, he'll be fine. I know Steeler fans want him fired. I personally don't. However, I do think it's time for Terrell Austin to go, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
With the amount of talent you have on that defense, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, of course.
You got some fellas that can play.
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick, the linebackers have been okay this season. Just not a good look when you're the 20th ranked defense and you
No.
have all those players to show for it.
And that's definitely out of the norm for what we're used to seeing from a Pittsburgh Steeler defense. They're not used to ranking down there. Normally they're at the top. So that is something that's definitely going to have to get fixed. And I think Tomlin's going to get the pass. I mean, you've done so well there for so long. I don't think anybody's going to try and string him up right now.
At this point, Steeler season is basically over, and it's just we'll see.
Well, folks, looks like we lost Brennan on our picture. Let me see if I can't do some finagling to get him back.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, I can still talk. This game, did you watch any of this?
I didn't have a chance to watch any of this, but I saw Jared Goff went
Yeah.
off. Rookie Sam Laporta, the tight end,
They-
having a big season
Yeah.
again.
Sam Laporta and Amon St. Brown both went off this game.
Jameer
Oh.
Gibbs also had a great day.
Hopefully they come back, huh? Was it injuries or what happened to those two to come off the field? Anybody see?
I didn't see anything.
No.
Huh. Well, hopefully they can get back going. Ra had a good game, 7 receptions for 112 yards and
Yeah.
9 targets. The Bears the Lions put up a lot of numbers, and
Sam Laporta 3 touchdowns.
that's a big game for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really starting to come into his own at that spot where he can do a lot of good things for you.
Fun fact: he has more touchdowns so far in his career than Kyle Pitts.
Mm.
Well, speaking of, I saw old what's his name is about to tie. Is it Flacco's going to tie Pickett for touchdowns thrown? I thought that was kind of funny. On a side note there. All right. So the Lions, hopefully they can get things going back in the right direction. Hopefully those injuries don't amount to too much for them. We will see. Sorry, I'm working on getting Brennan back in the picture here and see if we can't get him going. Nope. And no, doesn't look like is that well that's all of us. Well, folks, I don't know if that's going to be the right one or not. All right, why don't you slide over here to the middle?
Ooh.
Hey, well,
There we go. We're back.
Welcome back. All right, we'll put him on the spot there. All right, Brendan, you're going to be driving our graphics for us
Okay.
there. So, yep, turn it off and then turn the next one on. There you go. All right, you got the lead talk there.
Anybody watching any of this?
I don't think even the people in the stadium watched it because I don't think there was a lot of folks there.
I looked at this game and the tickets were going for like
45 cents.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
And
they
there
were.
was still nobody there.
I
Yeah.
think they were giving away, and people still weren't trying to go. Just a bad, ugly game. This was partially the weather, but partially two bad teams playing, so that really doesn't help the process at all.
Yeah.
So we'll see if if the Panthers can figure it out. I know the Bears didn't like that they won a game. That jeopardizes
They
their
still
first
have
game.
the first pick, though.
Yeah, I don't think that one's going anywhere. I think they're going to be all right there. But if it's not working out for Ritter, just can't get going on the right direction, huh?
Speaking of which, Falcons announced yesterday that Ritter has been benched yet again for Taylor Heineke.
This is what the second or third time this year that
Second
they've done that.
Second time, yep.
So that's interesting. I mean, just and not to harp on Atlanta too much, but look at their stats. I mean, your best dude had 3 receptions.
Yeah.
And
you
that was
can't have a
Pitts. I mean, you got a whole lot of guys that had 1, 1, 1, and 1. That's not a good day.
Another notable thing here about Atlanta is that Bijan Robinson only had 7 carries for 11 yards. And the reason he had 7 carries is because he fumbled on one of his carries. Carolina, of course, picked it up. And then after that, they just decided to not use him again.
I wonder if he's still in the talk for rookie of the year. He came on real hot there in the beginning, but has really kind of slacked off over the last little bit. So yeah, we'll kind of see what happens there.
on to the next one.
All right, I was the Bengals fan in me had me rooting for the Bears, and they just couldn't figure it out. But Flacco had a good day, 2 touchdown passes. The 3 picks kind of hurt him a little bit there, but he was there when he needed him to be and made some real nice plays. And Njoku had a good day. You look at the 10 receptions. I mean, he's definitely the go-to guy for Flacco back there, giving him some comfort.
He was one of the most high or one of the best fantasy players this week for scoring wise.
I would say so. Those 10 receptions that might have been tops in the league as far as receptions. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure. I know the yardage wasn't, but reception wise, he did really well. Not much on the ground for the Browns. Ford with 8 carries for 20 yards, and the Bears just tried to get a lot going, but couldn't get some last drives put together at the end there.
They just missed Nick Chubb.
Oh yeah.
But definitely a different team if the Browns have Chubb, and even with having Flacco back there, quarterback, he's not Deshaun Watson, but he's able to get you through some plays. He made some good throws there and made a couple good. He floated one to Njoku there at the end of the game that got him in field goal range.
Went up and got it, yeah.
And he went up and got it. So I mean, we'll see how far he can carry him. They got a big couple games coming up for them on the schedule.
Did either of you see the Hail Mary at the end of the game from the Bears?
I did. They had a chance.
Right in his hands. Yep.
It was in his hands, and then he dropped it. And the guy from the
just dropped it.
Yep.
From the Browns is right there to get it. So when it's not going your way, those are the things that happen. The Buccaneers,
Packers game.
Packers. Baker Mayfield had a perfect passer rating at Lambeau Field. I think it was first time they said a visitor.
First time ever a visiting quarterback has had a perfect passer rating.
I didn't realize he did that good. 381 yards on 4 touchdowns. That's a hell of a day for him.
Yeah.
Goodwin with 155 in the air. That's a good day for him. Packers coming back down to earth a little bit. They had a couple good games there in a row, but now kind of faltering a little bit. Last week against the Giants and this week against the Buccaneers.
As of right now, looking, they're on the outside looking into the playoff picture. But Jordan Love has definitely been better these past 2 months. About forced 2 touchdowns, 284 yards, got sacked twice. Not sure how much of that is on him.
He's definitely getting his feet underneath him.
Yeah.
And he's getting experience that he needs.
no knock on the Green Bay receiving squad, but I don't think I know who any of those guys are.
I was about to say that. I don't know who any of their.
I'm not sure what happened to Christian Watson. Did we miss an injury there, or because I don't see his name? I've heard of one or two of the fellas on there, and not to mention, not to be bad about those guys, but just not household names. So I don't know what's going on with the receiving squad over there. Maybe Green Bay's got to get after it a little bit in the draft and get some of the guys to develop a little bit.
Chris Godwin had a great game.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, 10 receptions, 155 yards. That's
a big day for him.
yeah.
But
Blowout.
the Jets, Jets, and the Dolphins. I mean, for the Jets, they just can't get right. The poor kid Zach Wilson gets benched, gets promoted to starter, gets benched again. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just been a rotation for him. That's a hard place to do well in New York. You're under the microscope 24 hours, every day of the week. Might just been a little bit too much pressure for the young man to deal with. And he hasn't been able to put it all together. Brees Hall just got shut down. I think it was just the Dolphin defense was teeing off on them all day long. I would imagine they knew what was coming. Waddle had a hell of a day. 8 receptions for 142 yards and 1 touchdown.
I mean, I think the craziest thing is that Tua didn't even have to really do a lot. I mean, you see that he went 21 to 24, 224 yards and the 1 touchdown. So he really didn't have to do a lot. He just kind of threw the ball up there to Jalen Waddle.
Let him.
To note that Tyreek Hill was not playing in this game.
Looks like they let Waddle outrun everybody for 60 yards. That was probably the bomb
Yeah.
for the touchdown. And I saw they had a turnover. They got the ball inside the Jets 10. I mean, they just couldn't. 2 picks from the Dolphin defense. I don't think the Jets really had much of a chance in this one, unfortunately.
Plus 6 sacks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt you just about every time.
New York and the Saints. I don't think anybody expected.
They got after Tommy Cutlets with the 7 sacks. If you guys haven't seen, he has his little Italian, hand gesture that he does, and the entire Saints defense was doing that one all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, they were getting after him. Not much going on for them. Saquon Barkley 9 carries for 14 yards. You're going to struggle with the Giants if that's all you're getting out of Saquon.
Unfortunately, Tommy DeVito insanity run is over.
Yeah, he might have come back down to earth a little bit. We'll see if he can pick it up again this week. But I mean, that Saints defense was just after him all day long. Let's see here. We had 3 touchdown receptions. So it looks like they spread the ball around a little bit. Got some folks on there getting involved. Jimmy Graham got back on the field and got a touchdown. So that's good to see him out there. Taysom Hill being involved in the game a little bit. So we'll see what can happen for the Saints. I believe they're the Thursday night game. So we'll talk about that here towards the end.
Saquon Barkley didn't do a lot. I don't know how much of that was because they were just trailing the entire game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
9 carries, 14 yards, not a good look.
No, that's not a good day. And then those 7 sacks. I don't much imagine New York was ahead in much of this game. Or as much as I hate to say it, I don't know if they were really ever in a chance to give Saquon carries. I mean, when you're down by 14 or 21, hard to get carries to your running back. So trying to see how that develops for them moving forward. This is another game that went to overtime. We had several games that went to overtime. It came down to field goals. The Bengals fan in me had me rooting for the Titans, and they just couldn't pull it out. Everything they tried just wasn't working. Credit to the Houston defense. They were getting after him with those 6 sacks they got on Levis. He never really looked comfortable back there. You look at Derrick Henry. I mean, how many times have we seen Derrick Henry get 16 carries for a total of 9 yards? That's not a good day for him.
That's the same thing as the Saquon. If you can't get more than
you're
just not going to do nothing.
You're not helping yourself.
There was really no reason the Titans should have lost this game. Of course, you see Case Keenum. He was the starting quarterback for today's game. And he honestly didn't play too badly overall. I mean, he was more of a game manager, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's what Case Keenum probably is at this point in his career. Probably more of a game manager as far as what he does. I think he's going to light it up for 400. He's definitely got the arm to do it. If I'm not mistaken, throughout the game, most of his passes were under 10 yards. I don't think he had any downfield shots, but a lot of completions. Singletary had a great game for the Texans there, 26 carries for 121 yards, but he's the only dude getting the ball in the backfield.
Yeah,
so
there's nobody else. 1 carry, 1 carry, 1 carry, 1 carry. That's gonna be tough for him as a running back.
He's definitely taking a pounding. So we'll see. We'll see how they bounce back. Stroud might be back this week. They said we'll kind of talk about that when we get into our preview section.
Titans have been eliminated from the playoffs with this loss.
Oof.
And Levis got hurt at the end of the game.
Yes,
I hope.
he did.
Yeah.
I hope he's all right. I haven't heard anything about that. Have either y'all fellas heard anything?
Mm-mm.
I remember Levis saying something like he got the wind knocked out of him or something like that.
Yeah, they had the trainers out there, and eventually he walked off on his own accord. The Chiefs and the Patriots. I think we might be seeing the end of the Bill Belichick or the Bill Belichick days up there in New England.
Yeah.
It's not coming together for them. You see a guy like Ezekiel Elliott that thought he was probably going to a contender, 11 carries for 25 yards. He's just not the same cat. Makes you kind of think about how good that offensive line was for the Cowboys that they were opening those holes for him, and they just can't get it going for Ezekiel. Hunter Henry had a great day. I think he had at least one touchdown that was called off the board for a penalty. So they had a chance there, and a lot of that was in the first half for him. And then the Chiefs are just the Chiefs. They're going to put points on the board. Mahomes is going to be there. He did have those 2 picks, which I guess didn't cost him too much. But yeah, just not the year for the Patriots, and not what those fans are going to be looking for.
Chiefs really needed this win, but Mahomes throwing 2 picks. I know for a fact that one of them wasn't his fault. One off of Kadarius Toney's hands. I don't know about the other one, but overall, like Chiefs, they're a mess right now. They needed this game, and good for them on getting the win.
Darius Tony just can't catch a break these last couple of weeks.
These last couple of games, he hasn't. He's been dropping passes that he needed, and then he's been making offside penalties too.
And he's an athlete. The kid's electric. Just got to give him the ball and give him some space. He can definitely do some things. So that confidence gets down. You know this as a receiver.
Yeah.
That confidence gets down. That ball gets harder and harder to catch.
Yep. It's like once you catch the first one or drop the first one, either way, like you can either go up or you just get your head down and you got to get out. You got to dig out of it.
Yeah. So hopefully he can get himself dug out of that hole and get things going in the right direction.
Yep.
Hopefully it's after they play the Bengals though that he gets things figured out.
Yeah. Oof.
I did not see this one, but I'm not surprised by the score looking at it.
Yeah.
Credit to the Cardinals for actually putting up nearly 30 points on that San Francisco defense, though.
That is a step in the right direction for them. They only allowed 3 sacks, which is probably a good number.
Yeah.
All things considered with that defensive line. I would imagine Kyler Murray was running for his life a couple times.
I would imagine. Trey McBride, though, he had a really good day.
Yes.
10 receptions, 102 yards.
Yep.
He's looking like one of the best young tight ends in the league.
As much as I hate to say it, I don't recognize a lot of the people on the Arizona receiving core either. A couple names here and there kind of stand out. On the San Francisco side, McCaffrey's a beast. I think. I think he's definitely got him to be in the running for MVP. But you guys think Purdy is in the mix for MVP as well as he plays?
I'll say this: I don't think Purdy is a bad quarterback. However, in fact, I think he's actually a good quarterback. But with that being said, I do think his numbers are at least a little bit inflated by the talent around him.
Probably. I don't know if he's MVP caliber. Nothing against him. He's a great.
I think he leads the league in touchdown passes, if I'm not mistaken, at 29.
Yeah.
But like you said, look at all the talent he has around him, who he can get the ball to. Yeah.
You look at McCaffrey's a number 1 on anywhere else, and he is there. Kittle's a number 1 tight end. Debo's a number 1 receiver for just about everybody. Ayuk would be a number 1 for a lot of folks, and you got Juszczyk coming out of the backfield. I mean, they don't really have any. They don't have any deficiencies.
Yeah.
I think that's a team we're going to be talking about come January with a lot of the same things. A team without deficiencies. They end up going pretty far in those playoffs. Didn't see this one. The Commanders. Sorry, folks. The Commanders had a chance late, scored some points, went for the onside kick, and Cup was able to knock it out. And speaking of Cup, he had a good day. That long of 62 was his long touchdown. Stafford kind of came around a little bit. Other than that, nothing really stood out for me. What about you fellas?
The only thing that stood out was where Cooper Kupp had the brains to knock the ball because he knew if he was going to try to catch, he was going to get rocked.
Yeah.
One important thing to note about this game, Sam Howell did get benched at one point. I don't know when, because he looked like he was struggling.
Yeah, they brought in Jacoby Brissett, huh?
Jacoby Brissett came in the game, and he actually played pretty efficiently.
Looks like he did good. 2 touchdowns. I'm not sure who they both went to.
He brought them back into that game, but unfortunately fell just short. Ron Rivera has named Sam Howell the starting quarterback for next week,
Mhm.
so we'll see if maybe Sam Howell, maybe that's the confidence booster he needed.
Maybe he's got the tools to be a really good quarterback in this league. Hopefully, it'll pan out for him. We look at the bottom. Terry McLaurin there, 6 receptions for 141 yards. It's a great stat line for him as
He's
a
Terry
receiver
Terry for a reason.
Oh yeah.
from Washington. And Kieran Williams for the Rams, 27 carries for 152 yards. I don't know that we've seen his name pop up just a whole lot. I don't know if we've seen that many carries or yards out of a LA Rams running back in a while.
Yeah.
He's so dynamic when you actually get him the ball. He was hurt for a while there, but I'm happy to see him happy, healthy, all that good stuff.
Bills, Cowboys. Malachi would be hating to see this one right now. He thought Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl contender. Once they play a good team, it's over.
Look, it's the Dallas Cowboys cycle.
Oh yeah.
They'll be the good team one week. Everyone talks them up in the media.
Yep.
Quarterback is an MVP candidate, and then all of a sudden, they'll face any team at all, and then they'll just get beaten to a pulp.
Oh yeah.
It happens every single year, so I was not surprised to see this. But I was surprised to see Josh Allen only threw for 94 yards.
And especially to win 31-10, you would think he'd have more than just 94 yards.
But it was the James Cook show, 180 yards on the ground, a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
And in the receiving game too, 2 receptions, 42 yards, and that 1 touchdown.
He had a good game then.
Yep, all around just a bad game from Dallas on both sides.
Defense, offense, everything just did not look
Everything
there.
was
Yeah.
Prescott didn't play well, only the 134 yards. But we'll see if they can rebound next week.
Let's see if they can. I think they'll definitely do better than just 10 points. They'll
With that offense, probably.
Yeah.
I would count on it.
Whew.
Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of this?
I watched a little bit of it. I saw the score and I was like, nah.
I saw like the first half, but then after that I went to bed because I saw it wasn't going anywhere, and I was right.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, he didn't even really have to do a lot. I mean, yeah, he did a lot with his feet. I should
Oh, yeah.
say. But he didn't have to do a lot on the ground or in the air because
Yeah.
the running game was so efficient.
Which that's what his game is, though. He would rather run the ball than throw the ball.
Oh, 100%. But one important thing to note is that Keaton Mitchell unfortunately did go down, and he's out for the season. So that's
I
another
saw
back
that.
loss.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that's another back loss for the Ravens. So now they're down to just Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. But I mean, Isaiah Likely had a great game, 5 receptions, 70 yards, and a touchdown. But just not a lot on Jacksonville's side. I mean, Trevor played okay.
Well, if you look at it, Trevor played better than Lamar. Like, passing wise.
Better yards.
Yeah.
To be fair, they were trailing that entire game, and Jacksonville couldn't stop the
True.
run.
So they had to throw the ball.
Now the stat that stat that I see, Lamar Jackson took 3 sacks and Trevor Lawrence only took 1.
Yeah.
You would think that with that vaunted Baltimore defense, that would be the other way around, that they would have got more sacks than the Jaguars did. But hey, good for them.
Josh Allen is a monster on that Jacksonville.
Yes, he definitely is. He can play. He can play. All right.
I think we're coming up to our last couple here.
I didn't see this one. It was an underscoring game. I think people were expecting a little bit more, a little bit higher scoring, but
I think the final score is wrong on the graphic there. I think the final score was actually 20-17.
did I? Oh, I think you're right. I think I did mess that up. Sorry about that, folks. All right, we all make mistakes. Thank you for correcting me on that one. Philadelphia just hasn't looked good the last couple of weeks. I'm
No.
wondering, are people figuring out how to stop them and what to do?
I mean, I know Jalen Hurts was playing with the flu that game. I don't know how much of that affected him in both the ground game and the passing game.
The offense just doesn't seem to be.
Just doesn't look the same.
No, not where it was early on in the season. They started off what 10-0.
Yeah, they started out hot.
I think they started off 10-0, and now they're 0-4 in the last 4 games, if I'm not mistaken.
3.
0-3. Yeah, it's kind of like people have okay, we've got you figured out, and I think that's what the NFL is good about. They're going to figure out what you do, and then they're going to
Oh yeah.
they're going to take that away.
Now, One thing that surprises me is that the Eagles put up 17 points, but I don't see a single offensive touchdown.
No, no. Hopefully I did the stats right on this one, fellas. Hopefully I didn't mess up too bad. Maybe I did. But yeah, I mean, all credit to the Seahawks for pulling out. I think that was a last second, 40 seconds left in the game touchdown that they got to win it.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, to Njigba.
Yep.
Oh,
I was about to say.
I think our stats are definitely off because Jackson Smith and Njigba had the touchdown.
He had the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't have him down for any. I think I might have forgot to pull stats for this one. Apologies to everyone. All right, on to the next one. All right, game's coming up. We got our game tomorrow with the Saints and the Rams. Rams are playing decent football as of late. Saints had the big win coming off from the Giants. I'm not sure about that one. I think the Saints. What do you fellas think?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Rams. They've been playing.
Playing hot as of late.
Yep.
I'm also going to go with the Rams. Granted, the Saints' front core is something to watch. Cameron Jordan, of course, is a monster.
Yes, he is. So we'll see about that
But
one.
I think Rams are going to pull this one out.
All right, you want to lead us off there, Eli, with the next game?
Bungles Steelers. I mean, Mason Rudolph is starting. Maybe, unless Kenny Pickett's ready to go. I wouldn't count on it though.
No, I don't think he's gonna be ready.
But I think realistically, I think the Bungles should win this game.
You think your Steelers the Steelers should have a chance? I mean, that defense is always going to play
But
well for them.
one thing to keep in mind: Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
Nope.
I have no reason to think that it's going to begin now.
And the game's at Heinz Field or
It's at home.
Three River Stadium, whatever it's called nowadays.
So I'm going to go with the Steelers because I kind of have to.
What are you thinking? Like a field goal to win it? Close game?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it's going to be a high scoring affair by any stretch of the imagination.
I think this is gonna be a first one to 21.
Yeah, I think whoever gets 21 first might pull that one out. The next game, Buffalo and the Chargers. The Chargers without their quarterback. I just don't like their chances of
Yeah.
playing Buffalo. Buffalo's got to go out west and play it, but I think they're going to be okay.
Does anyone want to take the upset on this one?
No.
No, I don't think anybody's on that one.
Realistically, the Bills should crush the Chargers.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to take Minshew Magic against the Falcons. Desmond Ritter and Tyler Heineke just haven't been able to put much together, and
Yep.
you can't go wrong with Minshew Magic and the mustache.
Well, that's the thing with the Falcons, though.
They'll pull one out when you're not ready.
Exactly. Which is why I'm going with the Falcons.
You can take the upset special today?
Going with the upset.
All right.
Taking the Falcons. Taylor Heineke is going to put a new energy into this team.
All right.
I just don't think he's got it.
We'll see. Will you take an upset special for the Carolina and Green Bay game as well? I don't think I can do that one.
I think that's a no-brainer.
I got to go Green Bay on that one. What do you think, Eli?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree
Yeah.
with
All
that.
right. I don't think anybody's jumping on that Carolina bandwagon just quite yet.
Malachi jumped on the Panthers bandwagon last
Did he?
week.
So he did. He picked
he
the
did
upset,
pick the
huh?
upset.
I don't know if that was an upset or just a battle of
We need to start writing down
who's got what.
who picked who, so we can look
Keep
at
track.
it next week.
Well, I tend to watch these back. I know I went 10-6 last week.
Yeah,
I
good
wonder
week.
what Malachi's was. Because Malachi's was he always picked the upsets.
The bottom game is going to be interesting. If Stroud's not playing,
Yeah.
I heard that it's unlikely that he plays.
so I'm not sure I'm liking the Texans in that one. Flacco looks
Flacco's been doing
okay
pretty
for
good.
the Browns. I mean, he's looking good enough. Hand the ball off and get out of the way.
Yeah.
The Brown defense might be ready to play. If this was the Texans before with Stroud and with the receiver that they had before he got hurt, I think it's a different question, a different game. But ifs, ands, and maybes don't work out all the time.
My gut says to take the Browns, but I'm going with the upset.
Gonna take the Texans
I think Case Keenum is going to do just enough.
to get by.
I don't know. I just have a feeling that Sunday's going to be an off game for the Browns
We'll see.
because they have a chance to clinch the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, I guess they
And-
can't
Sure.
clinch, huh?
Yeah, they
It's
can.
been it's been a while since they've been in that seat for them to be able to clinch something to get in.
This early too,
It's very early for them. There's still a couple games left
which
in the
is
season.
why they're not going to be able to do it on the first
I
try.
think they're gonna choke it off, huh?
Absolutely.
All right.
It's the game in a game they should win.
The battle in the NFC North, the Lions and the Vikings. The Vikings are still struggling at quarterback. Mullins looked okay against the.
I think Dobbs got
Yeah, it's gonna be Nick Mullins again.
yeah.
Is it
Well,
Mu-
I was gonna say I think Dobbs got dropped.
Is
Or
it-
they cut him.
No, he was a
He's-
healthy scratch.
Yeah, they
Okay.
put him down to the third string, I believe. I believe it's Mullins, the
Or not.
Hall,
Yeah,
the
Jaron
kid.
Hall.
Yeah,
that's
the
it.
kid from BYU, and then Dobbs. And Dobbs just faded off,
Fell off quick.
in the sunset. I mean, he was hot to trot there for a couple weeks, and now he's third string and lucky if he gets to dress.
Yeah.
As for the Lions, you fellas said there were some injuries. Hopefully, they can get all those squared away. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a big impact for them. And if Laporta's out, we've seen what he's been able to do lately.
If the Lions win this game, they clinch the NFC North title.
I think they might be okay.
I think they got a good shot at it. Yeah.
I think I'm going to take the Lions on this one. What do you fellas think?
Yeah.
I think the running game is going to be humming. I'm gonna go
Jameer Gibbs looking good lately.
He
I'm
has
gonna
been.
go with the Lions in this one.
Not necessarily the toilet bowl, but not far from it with the Jets and the Commanders. I think the Commanders might be able to get one here and pull away a W.
Yeah.
I have not seen who's starting at quarterback for the Jets rather. If it is Trevor Simeon, I will go with the Jets. If it is Zach Wilson, I'm going with the Commanders. but I have no idea.
I think they're playing musical chairs, and whoever's left.
Rock paper scissors.
Yeah, a little Rochambeau for starting quarterback for the Jets.
Yeah.
See if you can't win that one out of the battle.
Although I have heard that Aaron Rodgers has been medically cleared. To
He
play.
has been, but
He said he's still out.
Count on him playing for the rest of the season, though.
At this point in time,
The Jets are already eliminated from.
Yeah.
The playoffs.
yeah, there's no point of him playing.
if you had a chance, maybe I could understand it, but you're already eliminated. I don't think it's worth it right now.
Just have him rest. Up.
Knowing the Jets' luck, he goes out there and gets in a series and gets hurt again, and then he's done
Yeah.
for good. Like, okay, let's just
Yeah, just
cut
let
it-
him rest.
cut it as what it is and let's go on about our business. Huh.
Seahawks and Titans.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks. I just don't know what's going on with the Titans QB situation.
They was playing good, then they played bad, then they played good again, and just they're up and down.
I think even with Levis in the game, if he is in the game, I think that Seahawks defense is just going to be too much for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of struggled with the pocket collapse on him a little bit, and they got some fellas that can get after it. So, I'm on the Seahawks on that one. What do you fellas think?
I got Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that.
All right, the Battle of Florida. Baker Mayfield had a hot game last week. He's actually been playing pretty damn good football this year.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's not.
As we mentioned earlier, he had the perfect passer rating just last week. But I'm gonna go with Jackson.
You got
Mhm.
He's
Jacksonville.
barely.
I'm gonna go with Tampa. I think him and Mike Evans are gonna go off.
That's a hard one because Lawrence is playing pretty decently, and the Jaguars have that stout defense. This could actually be a really good game.
Oh yeah.
100%.
This could be like a 24-21 last second field goal to win it.
Both teams kind of fighting for playoff spots right now. So
I think I'll take the Buccaneers on this one.
I think for me, the X factor is coaching.
Yeah.
I trust Doug Peterson a little bit more than I trust Todd Bowles.
And that's fair. That's fair. All right, Bears and the Cardinals. Whew.
That's also a tough one.
This is a tough one because neither team has really just.
I was about to say it's not tough because both teams are good. It's tough because both teams are not good.
Neither team's really had a breakout game.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning towards the Bears, but just barely. I very well could see Arizona upsetting here. I'm gonna go
yeah.
with the Bears.
If this game was in Arizona, I'm definitely all about Arizona. Looks like the game's going to be in Chicago, so that weather could have an impact factor on that one.
Yeah.
But I think I still got to go with the old Chicago team. It used to be the Chicago Cardinals back in the day.
Huh.
So I will go with the Cardinals on that one and see if they can't pull it through. In the next game, I think everybody's all about the Finns. Think the Cowboys have a chance? Either one of you fellas?
I don't think so.
I think they absolutely have a chance.
Yeah, they can shut it down. They have good defense.
They do. However, I do think Miami's going to win this game because they saw what James Cook and the Bills did last week.
They ran all over them.
They're going to just try and run it up their throats again.
Or we think this could be like 35-28, 40-35.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
mean, this could be a
This
high
could be
scoring.
Very high scoring affair.
Could be a great game
But
to watch.
I will go with the Dolphins. Just barely, though.
All right. In the nightcap of Christmas Eve, the Patriots and the Broncos. I don't know that this is going to be a high scoring affair.
I don't think it is.
Up in and that game's out in Mile High.
Broncos win 20-10.
Probably. First one at 21 might be able to pull that one out.
Yeah.
Should be some like 75-yard plus field goals out there in Denver. You can hit one from about that far. So yeah, I think everybody's on the Broncos for that one. Patriots just looking at draft picks, I think, right now. This year we have 3 Monday night games. So, fellas, you guys do anything for Christmas Eve? Is it family time or
We go watch a new Marvel movie that comes out. Or
okay?
just any kind of new movie that comes out
Is
during
that kind of your
Christmas.
family thing? You have a movie
Yeah.
and a family dinner?
Yep.
All right. What about you, Eli? You guys do anything family time for Christmas Eve?
Not doing any traveling or anything of the sort.
Just hanging around here.
Yeah,
What about
pretty much.
Christmas Day? Do you guys do anything every year? Anything special?
No, I mean, I guess I'm gonna see my brother, so that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be cool. My wife's family, we're gonna go visit her family in Florida. They have a big Christmas party for Christmas Eve,
That'd be cool.
and then we have standing rib roast for Christmas Day. So that'll be a good meal to eat while we're watching these games. But yeah. Anyways, back to the games. I don't think the Raiders have much of a chance against the Chiefs. Anybody?
I'm
Yeah,
picking the upset.
You taking the Raiders?
Taking the upset.
Okay. All right. The Chiefs been struggling a little bit there. You think the Raiders might have some stuff figured out, or what are you thinking there?
I just don't know.
Chiefs kind of own the Raiders though, so I don't know if I can hop on board with that.
All right, I will
But you know
respect.
what? I respect it.
I will respect your decision to take the Raiders. I mean, they've had some good games. They've played really well before. All right. Anybody on the Giants over the Eagles? The Eagles have played really bad lately.
I just don't know if DeVito can
But
do
this
it.
is a get right game
No.
for them.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's,
I don't think DeVito's gonna get it right at quarterback, and I don't know if the Giants defense is really prepared to stop
no.
the Eagles. You know that Eagle defense is going to be ready to go.
Oh yeah.
And I think the Giants are going to struggle with putting some points on the board from that aspect. So that'll be a situation. And then what could be the game? I think this is the game of the weekend.
Yeah. This is two good teams going at it.
I mean, this is a Super Bowl from a couple years ago and might be a potential preview of this year's game. The Ravens and the 49ers. What do you fellas think there?
49ers.
49ers?
I think they're gonna shut down Lamar. Yeah.
It'll be close, but San Francisco is too much of a juggernaut.
Are we expecting a high scoring game or like 17-14?
Expecting like a 23-20 kind of game.
23-20?
Yeah.
Kind of close. I don't know that the Ravens are going to be able to get a lot going on offense. You know,
Yeah.
like
I just don't know if they have enough not athletes, but like star
skill
athletes.
position players.
Yes.
Because you know that front four of San Fran is going to get after it.
Oh yeah.
And
And they're coming quick.
I don't know if Lamar's going to have the time, you know, to try and get it to those weapons. And they don't really have, as much as I'd say, they don't have that star receiver.
We thought Bateman was gonna be that, but he's just
Hasn't really panned out.
Yeah.
OBJ's great and all, but he's a little long in a tooth, and he's not as fast as he used to be.
yeah.
You know, and then out of the backfield, Baltimore just has never had that great running back come
Well,
out. It's been a while.
Then they just lost another one of their backs. They're down to 2.
So yeah, so that's not a good scenario. I think I might be on the 49ers on that one as well.
Yeah.
And then we got our Christmas tree because, folks, it is indeed Christmas, in case you didn't notice. So it is Christmas. So, folks, I hate to tell you, but this will be the last episode of the NFL preview review for this calendar year. We will join you all in January. I believe we are back to school on the 4th.
Yep.
So either Thursday the 4th or Friday the 5th, we'll jump back up with our show. And then we'll continue our weekly review up until the Super Bowl. And we will keep you guys posted on the NFL. Thank you all for joining us. Fellas, any last closing remarks or words?
Have a good Christmas.